Welcome, curious minds, to the deep dive.
Great to be here.
Today we're really getting into the architecture of our world, the continents, the countries, the nationalities.
Exactly. We're trying to move beyond just, like, recognizing the names.
Yeah, we want to uncover the deeper connections and implications hidden in these basic labels. Our sources give us a really unique way in, sort of like a language lesson.
That's a good way to put it. It's less about just geography facts you memorized in school,
right.
And more about enriching your mental map of the world, understanding the complexity.
So our mission, then, for you listening.
Well, it's really to go beyond the what, beyond just naming continents or countries.
Okay.
We want to explore the why. Like, why is understanding these distinctions actually crucial, especially now in our, super interconnected world?
Makes sense.
So by looking closely at these sort of building blocks, we hope to bring some real clarity. Clarity in communication, spark some genuine curiosity about different cultures, and ultimately just help you feel more informed, more connected to, well, the whole global picture.
It's not just a list of facts.
No, definitely not. It's about giving you a framework, a way to interpret things you hear about, happening around the world with a bit more nuance.
Okay, I like that. So the focus today, continents, the big land masses, countries, the political and social structures, and nationalities, how we talk about the people from those places.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And our sources structure it really well, almost like that language lesson you mentioned. It's a very accessible way into a pretty huge topic.
And using that structure lets us see how these simple ideas, continent, country, they're actually keys, right?
Absolutely. Keys to understanding our shared experiences, the global connections.
The whole web of different cultures that make up the planet.
Exactly. Seeing the threads,
So the goal for this deep dive is pretty clear. We want to pull out the most important insights from this material, make you feel, really clued in, confident.
Yeah, ready to engage more.
And hopefully uncover some of those aha moments, those connections between the basics and, like, real-world understanding.
That's the plan. Should be a good journey.
All right, let's dive in. Kicking things off, let's get that big picture view. The largest divisions of our planet, the 7 continents.
Right. Think of them as the major landmarks on your global mental map.
Okay, so our sources give us the list. Asia, Africa, Europe, North America, South America, Australia.
And it notes Australia is sometimes called Oceania, which is interesting.
We'll get back to that. And finally, Antarctica.
These are the huge stages, where everything unfolds. History, nature.
It's worth pausing there, though, because even the idea of a continent, it's not always cut and dried, is it?
That's a really important point.
Yeah.
Our source gives us the standard list, the one most people recognize.
Yeah.
But how we actually define these land masses, is it purely geology, tectonic plates?
Or is it culture? Or just like one big piece of land?
Exactly. It's evolved. And that note about Australia or Oceania, that's a perfect example. It immediately flags that these categories, well, they can be a bit fuzzy around the edges.
So it makes you think about how things are grouped. Is it just land? Or is it the region, the islands around it?
Right. It shows that geography, even at this basic level, is actually quite dynamic. It's open to interpretation.
That's fascinating. It changes how you even look at the map. Okay, so let's dig into each of these 7 then, using our sources. Really unpack what makes them distinct. First up, Asia. The source says, very simply, it's the largest continent. And it gives examples: China, India, Japan, and Bangladesh.
Okay, largest. Let's unpack that word. It's not just about square miles, is it?
No, I guess not. What does that sheer size imply?
Well, it implies immense scale, which shapes pretty much everything about Asia. We're talking, roughly 30% of the Earth's land?
Wow.
And maybe 60% of the world's population? Over 4.7 billion people.
That's staggering.
It is. And that sheer size forces incredible diversity. Just think geographically. You've got everything from, like, the Siberian tundra, super cold,
right,
across the Himalayas, highest mountains in the world, the Central Asian steppes.
Deserts too, right? Like in the Middle East.
Exactly, Arabian Peninsula. And then you swing down to lush tropical rainforests in Southeast Asia.
So the climates, the ecosystems, they must be incredibly varied.
Totally. Which leads to unique ways of life, different resources, different adaptations by people.
And bringing in those example countries, China, India, Japan, Bangladesh, that really drives home the human side of that scale.
It really does. These aren't just dots on a map. They represent well, millennia of history.
Ancient civilizations, incredible culture.
Hundreds of languages, distinct political ideas, religions, art forms that have shaped the whole world.
Each one is like a world in itself.
Pretty much. Just think about those four. China, huge, long imperial history, now a global power.
India, a subcontinent, really. So many languages, religions.
A real tapestry. Japan, an island nation, that unique blend of ancient tradition and, hyper-modern tech.
And Bangladesh, densely populated, river delta country, facing unique challenges, but with this vibrant culture.
Right. So those few examples give you a shortcut, a way to grasp the sheer spectrum of human life packed into this one continent.
So understanding Asia, even just knowing these major countries and their diversity, it's fundamental, isn't it, for understanding global politics, economics, culture.
Absolutely essential. It gives you context for the lives and experiences of literally billions of people. You need that foundation.
Okay, moving from that massive scale in Asia, let's go to Africa. Our source highlights something striking right away. Home to 54 countries.
Yeah, that number, 54, it's incredibly important.
Why specifically?
Because it instantly challenges any idea of Africa as, like, one single place, a monolith.
Right, it forces you to see the diversity.
Tremendous diversity.
Yeah.
Politically, culturally, linguistically. It's staggering. Each of those 54 nations has its own history, its own government system, its own economy.
From farming to high tech, I guess?
Exactly. And think about the legacies like colonial history, leaving different official languages, French, English, Portuguese, Arabic.
And different legal systems, too.
Often, yes. Plus you have regional groups now, like ECOWAS in the West, SADC in the South, shaping the future.
The source gives us 3 examples: Nigeria, Egypt, and South Africa. How do they illustrate that diversity?
Well, they give you a good geographical and cultural spread. Nigeria, in West Africa, huge population, major economy, incredibly diverse ethnically.
Okay.
Egypt, North Africa, connects to the Middle East, boasts that incredible ancient history that influenced the whole world.
Right, pyramids and pharaohs, but also modern Egypt.
Of course. And then South Africa, right at the southern tip. More diversified economy, complex social history, overcoming apartheid.
So just those 3 give you a sense of the range, north, west, south.
It's a glimpse, yeah.
Yeah.
A window into the continent's huge variety. You've got the Sahara Desert, the Nile River, huge cities, vast savannas. It's an amazing mosaic.
So for you listening, that 54 countries detail.
It's a key aha moment. It really underscores the richness and complexity that often gets missed in, quick news headlines. It encourages a much more nuanced view.
A more respectful view, too, I'd say.
Definitely.
Okay, that complexity is compelling. Now, Europe. The source calls it smaller but very influential. Examples: France, Germany, Italy, the UK.
Smaller landmass, yes.
But that phrase, very influential, what's behind that enduring influence, maybe beyond the obvious history?
Well, that phrase carries a lot of weight. Historically, you're talking about the birthplace of things like the Enlightenment, the Industrial Revolution.
Huge shifts in thinking and technology.
Absolutely. Scientific breakthroughs, political philosophies that underpin modern democracy, human rights ideas.
Artistic movements, too, right? Renaissance, it's there.
Renaissance, Romanticism, architectural style. These weren't just local European things. They spread globally. Their impact was and is colossal.
And it's not just history, is it? Today, those countries listed, France, Germany, Italy, the UK, they're still major global players.
Undeniably. They're economic heavyweights, often leading in tech, engineering, luxury goods, you name it.
Cultural trendsetters, too. Fashion, food, film.
Right. And critically, they have significant voices in global politics. Think UN, NATO, and the EU itself, that huge experiment in cooperation.
So their influence comes through trade, diplomacy, education.
All of the above. Cultural soft power, too. It reaches almost everywhere.
So it really shows that influence isn't just about size or population.
Not at all. Europe's impact comes from this deep, interconnected history, its constant intellectual output, and its complex relationships with the rest of the world built over centuries.
So for you listening, understanding this provides context, right? For global systems, history, even cultural references you see every day.
Precisely. It helps you trace the roots of many modern structures and current political discussions.
Okay, let's cross the Atlantic to North America. The source keeps it brief.
Made up of the USA, Canada, and Mexico. Seems familiar, but what's beneath the surface? Well, it's a great example of how even familiar neighbors have really distinct identities and complex relationships.
So USA, Canada, Mexico, they share the continent, obviously.
Obviously. But they represent very different cultures, economic approaches, political systems. Canada, vast, multicultural parliamentary democracy.
The U.S. central, huge economy, global cultural influence, a federal republic.
And Mexico, to the south. Rich indigenous roots, vibrant modern culture, a key economy bridging North and Latin America, also a federal republic.
And the geography itself plays a huge role, doesn't it? Those long borders.
Absolutely huge. Some of the longest, busiest borders in the world. That forces interaction, trade, migration, cultural mixing.
Like NAFTA or the USMCA now.
Exactly. That reshaped their economies. And just the constant flow of people and ideas creates unique border regions, distinct even from their national identities.
So even though they're separate countries, what happens in one often impacts the others?
Definitely. Politically, economically, culturally, they're deeply intertwined because of that proximity.
So even here in familiar territory, there's depth, shared geography, but distinct identities.
Right. And appreciating that helps you understand, international relations, trade debates, cultural fusion. It shows how neighbors can be so different yet so connected.
Let's head south now to South America. Our source says it's known for Brazil, Argentina, and Chile. How do these three light up the continent's diversity?
Well, connecting them to the bigger picture, these three alone give you a really vivid sense of South America's varied landscapes and cultures. Take Brazil.
It's massive, right?
Huge, not just in South America, but globally. It holds a massive chunk of the Amazon rainforest, crucial for the whole planet's climate and biodiversity.
Culturally, too.
Oh, yeah. A real melting pot. Strong African, European influences. Yeah. You hear it in the music, taste it in the food, see it at Carnival. Its size means it borders almost every other country there.
Then Argentina, different vibe.
Very different. Known for the pampas, those vast grasslands. Shaped its farming, its gaucho culture, strong European links, especially Italy and Spain. You see in the cities the food, and of course, tango.
And Chile, that long, thin country?
Exactly. Stretched along the Andes Mountains. That unique shape gives it an incredible range of climates. You've got the Atacama Desert, one of the driest places on Earth in the north.
Wow.
Mediterranean climates in the middle, and then glaciers and fjords way down south.
So those three examples really showcase the variety. Mountains, rainforests, deserts, grasslands, bustling cities, indigenous traditions.
Absolutely. They invite you to picture the whole continent. The Andes shaping life, the Amazon teeming with life, the coastal energy, the blend of indigenous roots and colonial history.
So for you listening, it encourages a richer view, right? Beyond just names, seeing the diversity and how geography shapes nations.
Definitely moves you beyond simple labels.
Okay, next up, Australia. And the source highlights that interesting point, both a country and a continent. Plus that note, sometimes called Oceania.
Yeah, that dual identity is fascinating, isn't it?
It really stands out.
Australia is unique. It's the only single landmass that's both a sovereign nation and a whole continent. That alone sets it apart.
And that sometimes called Oceania part, what's the significance there?
It pushes us to think bigger than just the landmass of Australia itself. Oceania refers to the broader region, Australia, plus thousands of islands scattered across the Pacific.
Like New Zealand, Papua New Guinea, Fiji.
Exactly. Plus countless smaller islands, atolls. So Oceania captures that vast oceanic character, the diverse island cultures that have thrived there for ages.
So the terminology depends on context. Continent versus wider region.
Pretty much. Australia is the continent, the main landmass. Oceania is often used for the wider cultural and oceanic zone. It reminds us of the unique environments, the human stories, the challenges like rising sea levels for those islands.
So it challenges simple definitions again.
It does. It expands your understanding of how we group parts of the world. It's not always neat boxes.
And thinking about Australia itself, you have the indigenous cultures too.
Absolutely. Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples, some of the oldest continuous cultures on Earth. Their connection to the land and sea is fundamental to understanding the continent. It's a compelling mix of geography, nationhood, culture, a real aha moment.
And our final continent, Antarctica, described as very cold, no permanent residents, only researchers live there temporarily. Sounds pretty stark.
Stark is a good word. Connecting that to the bigger picture, Antarctica really is about the limits of human life, isn't it? The most extreme environment.
No permanent residence, says it all.
It does. It highlights the extreme cold, minus 80 Celsius, even colder sometimes, and the challenge of just surviving there without constant support. It's the only continent with no native population, no countries in usual sense.
But not totally empty. Only researchers live there temporarily. That's significant.
Hugely significant. It speaks of volumes about human curiosity and scientific dedication. People endure those conditions, sometimes for months, to do vital research.
What kind of research?
Glaciology, studying the ice sheets, which tell us about climate history and future. Meteorology, weather patterns. Marine biology, unique ecosystems under the ice, very sensitive to change.
So it's like a global science lab.
Exactly. A unique place where countries actually cooperate peacefully for science under the Antarctic Treaty.
What does that treaty do?
It reserves the continent for peaceful scientific use, protects the environment, bans military activity. It's quite remarkable, really, an entire continent dedicated to science and peace.
So for you, the listener, what's the takeaway from Antarctica?
It's a reminder of the planet's sheer scale and power, but also of the human drive to explore and understand, even in the toughest places. It inspires awe for nature, but also for that collective scientific effort. Makes you think about our shared responsibility for these unique places.
Okay, so we've journeyed through all 7 continents, gotten feel for their unique characters. Let's just quickly revisit those dialogue examples from the source to lock in the basics. Which continent is the largest?
Asia is the largest continent.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
And which one is the coldest?
That's Antarctica. Can't get much colder.
These seem basic, but why are they important?
Well, asking and answering even simple questions like these, it's active recall. It's not just hearing the fact, it's retrieving it from your memory.
Which strengthens the memory trace.
Exactly. It strengthens the neural pathways.
Yeah.
It builds that foundational layer for geographic literacy, makes it easier to add more complex info later. It helps you build that reliable mental map.
Okay, good point. So from the huge scale of continents, let's zoom in now. Let's talk about countries and the people from them, nationalities.
Right. This is where the linguistic link comes in, connecting a place to its people through language.
Our sources give us a helpful list of pairs to practice. Let's go through them. French,
Germany,
German,
Italy,
Italian,
Brazilian,
Japan,
Japanese,
Chinese,
Bangladesh,
Bangladeshi,
Egypt,
Egyptian,
Canadian,
and Australia.
Australia.
So looking at these pairings, it's more than just memorizing words, right?
Oh, definitely. Connecting this to the bigger picture, you start seeing patterns, but also the cultural weight these words carry.
Like the endings, N-A,
Yeah.
A's.
Yeah, you notice those suffixes. NA's common, Brazilian, Canadian, Egyptian, Italian,
Yeah.
essays too, Japanese, Chinese. But then you have unique ones like French, German.
So there are patterns, but also exceptions.
Exactly. And those patterns and exceptions often come from deep linguistic history. Recognizing them helps you learn and remember. It's a little window into etymology.
And beyond the words themselves, what does nationality really mean?
It's a marker, isn't it? A marker of identity, shared heritage, often a common language. It's how people place themselves and others in the world.
So knowing both the country and the nationality is important for communication.
Crucial. For respectful, clear communication. It shows you've bothered to understand where someone's from and how they identify, like knowing someone is from the Netherlands, but they are Dutch. It shows awareness.
Let's try those example sentences from the source. Make them feel natural. I am from France. I am French.
Simple, direct.
She is from Japan. She is Japanese.
Clear connection.
He is from Brazil. He is Brazilian.
You get the pattern.
Okay, now engaging you, the listener, directly with that question from the source. Where are you from? Can you say it in English?
Take a second. Think about it.
Say it out loud if you can. I'm from your country. I'm your nationality.
Taking it personal like that really helps it stick. It turns it from abstract info into something you can actually use, a tool for connection.
Okay, let's really unpack how this knowledge gets used. Lists are one thing, but seeing it in action? That's where understanding deepens.
Exactly. The source dialogues are great for this. They show how these facts just naturally weave into conversations, building connections.
They're not just abstract facts you store away.
No, they're active tools for understanding and relating to people. They help us quickly frame who we're talking to, where they're coming from, literally.
Okay, let's listen to the first scenario. Meeting new people. See how the info flows.
Hi, where are you from?
I'm from Italy. And you?
I'm from Canada.
Wow, so Italy's in Europe and Canada is in North America. I've always wanted to visit Canada, maybe explore the Rockies.
Oh, that's fantastic. Italy is somewhere I've dreamed of too, especially for the history and food in Rome. Do you find many cultural differences living in Europe compared to what you imagined Canada to be like?
Okay, this version is richer. Leo's first follow-up, placing Italy in Europe and Canada in North America. It's not just geography trivia.
No, it's contextualizing immediately, building that mental map of the conversation.
Right. It's step one in understanding Anna's background. But then Anna's reply goes deeper, asking about cultural differences.
Which links back to our earlier points about diversity within continents.
Exactly. It shows how knowing the basic geography immediately opens the door to asking more interesting cultural questions. It sparks curiosity. That's how real connection starts. Person to place, then place to culture.
And it moves way beyond just facts, doesn't it? This kind of chat, sparked by basic geography, can lead anywhere: travel stories, food, history, politics.
All rooted in that initial "where are you from?" It builds empathy, broadens your view. It's geography as a social skill.
Let's look at the second dialogue, talking about travel. How does this knowledge frame our adventures?
Have you ever been to Asia? I'm thinking of a big trip next year.
Yes, I went to Japan last year. It was incredible, the blend of ancient temples and futuristic cities. I spent a lot of time in Kyoto and Tokyo.
That's amazing. I want to visit China and India specifically to experience their ancient cultures and bustling markets. Did you find it easy to navigate with the language barriers?
Surprisingly so, especially in tourist areas. But it made me realize just how vast Asia is and how much more there is to see. China and India are completely different experiences, I imagine.
Okay, this raises a good question. How do we even talk about travel across huge areas? Continents become essential organizing concepts.
Sam starts broad. Asia, general interest in that vast region.
Then Maya narrows it down to a specific country. Japan. She adds personal details, making it concrete. We know Japan is in Asia, one of its diverse nations.
Then Sam specifies his interest within Asia, China, and India, two other massive distinct countries we mentioned earlier. And he brings up a practical point: language.
Right. It shows how you use both the big picture, the continent, and the specifics, the countries, to plan and discuss travel.
It really highlights Asia's vastness again, doesn't it? You can't just do Asia.
Exactly. But you can visit its incredibly diverse countries. The continent gives you the framework to think about it, to plan those big trips, encouraging you to see beyond just one nation.
Okay, third dialogue. The school presentation. How is precision fostered here?
Class, can someone tell me a country located on the continent of Africa and perhaps something unique about its geography?
Egypt. It's in the north of Africa, and it has the incredible Nile River, which was so important to its ancient civilization.
Excellent observation. Egypt is indeed in the north, and the Nile, as you rightly noted, is a lifeblood, illustrating how geography often dictates human settlement and history. Can anyone add another example from a different region of Africa?
South Africa, right at the bottom.
Yeah.
It's known for its diverse landscapes, from coastlines to mountains, and it has a long history of mining.
Connecting that to the bigger picture, notice the teacher's follow-up and the student's details. Egypt is in the north, plus the Nile detail.
It's not just naming the country.
No, it's locating it within the continent and linking it to a key geographical feature. That builds a much richer mental map for the students. Spatial understanding, not just facts.
Thinking about where it is relative to other places and why its geography matters.
Precisely. And the second student adding South Africa at the other end, with its own distinct features, reinforces that continental diversity and spatial awareness.
So this kind of detail encourages more precise thinking.
Absolutely. It's the difference between just knowing a fact and understanding its context in the world puzzle. How rivers shape history, how landscapes drive economies. It fosters critical thinking about place.
Okay, time to sharpen our own awareness. Let's do that quick quiz from the source. A fun way to consolidate what we've covered. Experience that aha moment of remembering.
And these quizzes, they're surprisingly powerful learning tools. It's not just testing you, it's forcing that active recall we talked about.
Retrieving the information makes it stronger.
Much stronger. You're literally strengthening the memory trace. It turns passive listening into active learning.
All right, ready everyone? I'll ask, give you a moment, then we'll get the answer and a quick connection back to our chat. First one, which continent is Brazil located in, and what's a key geographical feature we discussed? Pause.
Brazil is in South America, and a major feature we highlighted was its huge share of the Amazon rainforest, vital for the planet. Ties back to its role as a continental giant.
Good. Next. Is Egypt in Asia or Africa, and what famous river runs through it? Pause.
Egypt is definitely in Africa, in the north, and that vital river is the Nile, crucial for its history and life today.
Okay. What is the nationality of people from Germany, and what was notable about its form?
Pause. The nationality is German. And it's one of those unique forms not using a standard an or a suffix like French or Dutch, reflects linguistic history.
Right. Which continent is the smallest by land area, and what's unique about its classification? Pause.
That would be Australia. Unique because it's both a country and a continent, and we also touched on how it's part of the wider Oceania region.
Where is Japan primarily located, and what defines its geography? Pause.
Japan is in Asia. Geographically, it's an archipelago, a chain of islands known for mountains, volcanoes, and long coastlines. That island nature shaped it profoundly.
Almost there. Which continent has 54 distinct countries? Name 2 from different regions we mentioned. Pause.
That's Africa, with its 54 nations. You could have picked Nigeria, West Africa, Egypt, North Africa, or South Africa, Southern Africa, to show that regional diversity.
Last one. Given no permanent residence, what's the main role of Antarctica? Pause.
Its primary role is as a global scientific outpost, dedicated to research climate, ice, ecosystems, and peace under the Antarctic Treaty, a continent for shared science.
Excellent. Seriously, well done if you followed along and got those.
Yeah.
You've been actively recalling, connecting the dots. That's real progress in mastering this global vocabulary and building your mental map. Feel good about that. So, wrapping things up, what does all this mean? We've covered a lot. Let's reflect on the big takeaways. We started by grounding ourselves in the 7 continents, looking at their definitions, their vastness, their diversity. That basic framework is now, hopefully, much richer for you.
A stronger foundation.
Then we practice country names and nationalities, so you've gained practical language tools for clearer, more respectful communication about people and places.
Really useful tools.
We listen to those dialogues, showing how this knowledge isn't just academic. It's immediately useful in real life, meeting people, talking travel, understanding education. Geography is a social skill.
Absolutely. Very practical.
And finally, the quiz. That active recall helps cement the learning, showing how engagement boosts understanding and confidence.
It really ties it all together.
So, connecting all this to the bigger picture, what's the real value for you, the listener?
Well, it's genuinely huge. It goes way beyond just memorizing stuff. It's about building that robust, dynamic mental map of the world we keep talking about.
How does that help day to day?
It lets you contextualize news instantly. You hear about an event, you can place it, understand some of the background factors, historical, cultural, political. It helps you appreciate cultural things you encounter, music, food, art, recognizing their origins.
And personal interactions.
Makes them more meaningful, more informed, more respectful. This kind of literacy shields you from misunderstandings, helps you think critically about information overload, and fosters a genuinely global, empathetic perspective. You feel more connected to the whole human story.
That connection is powerful, which is why we really encourage you to keep this going.
Yeah, practice makes perfect, or at least much better.
Remember, learning vocabulary, understanding these concepts, it gets easier with consistent practice. So here's a simple, powerful call to action.
Try it out.
Ask your friends, colleagues, where are you from? Tell people confidently, I'm from your country. I'm your nationality.
These aren't just phrases, they're openings, invitations to connect, to understand, and to express your own place in the world. It's active, global citizenship.
Thank you, really, for joining us on this deep dive today. Your curiosity makes these explorations so rewarding. We're grateful you shared the journey.
Yeah, thanks for listening.
And here's a final thought to mull over. As we use these labels, continent, country, nationality, think about how they're more than just sorting mechanisms. They are fundamental keys. Keys that unlock a deeper appreciation for our shared humanity, our incredible interconnectedness, and the amazing variety of cultures that make up this one single planet. Keep questioning, keep connecting, keep exploring. Until our next deep dive.